So there's always going to be pressure from the community, especially for certain teams. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. We're diehard. We bleed black and gold. We have a bunch of Pittsburghers here. It's no reason why they're hired. But there's a certain type of mentality and culture that is created around a team. But then there's this different dynamic with owners. Um, you know, to some degree, in a different perspective, Bill Gates, Paul Allen, Steve Ballmer, while you have Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, end up creating this, computer PC industry, and create more money than God, right? Hundreds of billions in net worth from that standpoint. And Paul Allen, was very focused in the Seattle, Washington area where Microsoft was started, and getting into sports. Now, he's passed away since. But tell us, like, the journey of, because you were with him before when he passed, and now Jody. Could you kind of walk us through that relationship of, because you were part of the organization before running it, how does that work? How does a relationship with an owner who's worth infinite money effectively, and their perspective and relationship on the team and their that pressure, and then that transition, unfortunately, when he passed away? Could you tell us and give us a little bit of color and flavor on that?
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Paul Allen is his estate still owns the Trailblazers and the Seattle Seahawks. So yeah, I got to know Paul fairly well. I mean, he was we'd have annual or semi-annual board meetings with him, and he was just a huge basketball fan. That's why he bought the Blazers when he did back in 1988. And he loved that team, and I don't know that I've ever met anybody who asks such good questions. And Paul's gift was to ask really, really hard and good questions that kind of made you rethink the way you were even thinking about something. And he was just so gifted at that. He was curious. His mind would kind of go all over the place, but he was very demanding and wanting us to succeed at a level that he thought was possible. Whether that was, with our business, it could be something as small as our merchandise and how we were selling things. It could be the technology that we're using in the arena to make sure a fan experience was going well. It could be, it could be the level of the players or the types of players that he wanted to see to get drafted. He just had so much care and attention and focus on it. And he passed suddenly in 2018, and Jody's been managing that estate for the last 7 years, and she, siblings, so they're very much the same kind of person. Jody asks incredible questions, very focused on the fan experience, very focused on making sure we have a relationship with the past Blazers who have made this organization great. Really thinks about how we can make the team better, move the team forward. What kinds of renovations do we need to do to our arena? What kind of renovations do we need to do to the facility for our players? She's been through a lot. I mean, we traded our star player, Damian Lillard, after he requested that. The Seahawks traded their star player, Russell Wilson, after he demanded it. This summer, DK Metcalf wanted a trade, and she's been through it. So she understands how to manage those egos and deal with that. And she sets a really strong North Star for us, and has always told us, don't let emotion get in the way of these decisions. Make the best decision for the organization. You're not going to be able to have this opportunity again, and when you have to trade a player, make sure you get the absolute best return for that player, and don't let ego or emotion get in the way.